Player prop projections, that's what we're here to talk about with prop projections. We are partnered with them for the MLB season and going to be for the NFL and NBA as well. Prop projections is awesome, super simple to use. So here we are in one of their projection sheets. Basically what you're going to get is around 200 different lines from PrizePicks every day with projections. And they post most days of the week. They even do about once a week a free projection spreadsheet. What I really like to do with this is make my own projections, which I'll show you how to do later in the video. And it's all through Patreon, which everyone I'm sure at this point has used Patreon at least one time, so it's super easy to use. You can join free on prop projections, and you can look out for that one free projection sheet per week, or you could join up and then it's $1 per every spreadsheet that you want. So if you click join on the dollar per spreadsheet, you can come over here and just pay for one spreadsheet, or you could set a monthly limit. Say you want access to 10 of these spreadsheets per month. So they make it super flexible and easy to get these projections. Okay, so now that you've either signed up for the free spreadsheet per week or however many you want to get, this is essentially how it works over here. So they're going to give you the line, like I said. If we scroll down to the bottom, today they have 230 projections available. Column A is the player, the market line you're looking at, the PrizePicks line, their projection, which we'll get into in a minute, how they come up with their projections, the line difference between PrizePicks and their projection, and then the lean, over or under, and the projected win percentage based on the line difference percentage compared to the PrizePicks line and the projection. So I found that these projections are fairly good, especially the ones at the top with the higher win percentages. They do sometimes post in the Patreon as well how many of their top projections are actually hitting. If we come back over to the Patreon, you can see their top 4 all hit on this night. But what I really like about prop projections is if you don't trust their projections, or you want to make your own projections like I do because I'm a player prop sicko and I'm getting into the data and making my own projections all the time, the great thing is that you can easily copy this template and you can make your own projections. So when you open it up from their Patreon, you're going to get a view only mode where you can't change anything, you can't change any filters or the projection number. All you're going to have to do is come up to File and make a copy, and then from the copy, the formulas on line difference, lean, and win percentage will all be there. But you can go in and you could say, okay, Hunter Green here, I actually project him for just 6.6 strikeouts, not 7.1. And you hit enter, you can see the line difference, the lean, and the win percentage all change. You could just go down the line for all 200 they have in here and give your own projections. So if we do that real quick to a couple of them, then you can come over and you could filter again by win percentage, just go Z to A, and then you can see the new top ones based on the projections that you come up with. So I really like doing that, making my own copy of their projection sheet and inputting my own projections here to find the top win percentage picks based on these numbers that I'm actually coming up with. Then you can also use these filters in other ways. You can only filter by pitcher strikeouts, for example. So you just come over here, clear, and then come down to pitcher strikeouts and only look at strikeouts for that day if that's primarily what you play on PrizePicks or Underdog. So definitely a really cool tool for people who like to get into projections and stats and data and all that. And speaking of that, now let's get into how prop projections actually comes up with this projection number in column G. So right here on Patreon, they break it down. So how our projections are made. Their projections are weighted differently based on various data. So they have these different bullet points of different data that they use that goes into the projection, but also they weight things differently. So for example, the player's stats from this season is a big part of the projection, I'm guessing, and that may be weighted 30% of what goes into the projection. But then they also have player stats historically against the team they're facing. So, that could maybe be 20% weighted. They take into account player stats in their last 10 games. That may be like 5% weighted. They take into account odds from other sports books. So like if the line is minus 140 on DraftKings, but it's up on PrizePicks, obviously they're going to weight that a little higher because these sports books are sharp and they do expect the strikeouts to go over, say, for example. So if all the sports books are having it as the betting favorite to go over, then they do take that into account for their projection. They also take into account opponent stats from this season. So like the player's average against the pitcher they're facing. And then for pitchers, I'm guessing, they take into account the team's overall average and the team's strikeouts per game. And then they say etc. So even more stats from against their opponents that they're facing, because in MLB it is very important to take into account the opponent. Compared to a sport like NBA or NFL, it seems like the stats are a little more important than the opponent they're facing. And then below, they do break down, which we just went over, as how to make your own projection sheet from what they send out every day. Okay, so if you guys are still with me, in summary, Prop Projections is going to post on Patreon. They do post one free sheet per week for those who follow them on the free section. And then they charge $1 for a projection spreadsheet. There's normally going to be about 100 to 250 projections that they send out every day for the MLB. I'm guessing based on how many games there are or how many lines that PrizePicks actually has up. So you're going to get the PrizePicks line, their projection, and then calculated line difference, lean, and win percentage. And like I said and showed before, my favorite part is downloading this sheet and then customizing it to use my own projections and see based on that what the win percentages are for my own projections. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, definitely sign up for Prop Projections. It's free for that one projection sheet per week or $1 per projection sheet. And you could sign up for however many you want. So hopefully this helped. I think it's an awesome partnership, and it's something that I use every day to look at their projections and then make my own for the MLB. Excited for when they come out with NFL and NBA as well here in a few months. So definitely check them out. They'll be linked down below in the pinned comment. Subscribe to the channel for more talk about player props, and we'll see you in another one.